Good morning. This is Eddita Felt speaking to you from Roller World in Topsham, and we are right next to one of the areas in which we discovered the most paranormal phenomena happening here at Roller World, and so it's good that we're standing here. I'm with Charlene Roberts, who owns Roller World, and I wanted to talk with her about the process of having a psychic investigation done at her business and what that was like for her, so that you all will know what your choices are if you're having issues in your business and you're thinking you might want to do something about it. So, Charlene, can you tell me why it was that you contacted me at Frontiers of the Mind?
Sure. We were having some unexplained experiences here at the building with different smells, different things that were unexplained that not just myself were experiencing, but others were experiencing as well. So I had decided to call Eddita at Frontiers of the Mind and ask her if she wouldn't mind coming out and doing a building investigation to see what was happening or if she could pick up on anything.
And what kind of things were happening here?
We had different types of smells that everyone was experiencing at different times with the same types of smells. We also had a lot of different types of noises that were happening that were unexplained. Some
like
knocking, some banging in different parts of the building.
Doors slamming?
Yes.
Creaky doors?
Yes. And not knowing where they were coming from, looking outside, making sure if somebody was here and there wasn't anybody around.
Yes. Yes. And that was kind of scary?
Sometimes, yes. Yeah. It actually made it where some of us didn't want to be in the building alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's pretty common in a building that has haunting going on, is you'll have certain people who don't want to be alone in the building because they're sensitive, and it affects them more strongly than it will affect some other people who aren't sensitive.
Right.
So what happened when you called us? Did we know about what was happening here?
No, I gave you a brief explanation that I wanted you to come out, and then our specific experiences from each of the staff here were written down on pieces of paper and put into envelopes that were sealed, and they were not released to Eddita and her team until after the investigation was done and after her report of what they had found in the building.
And so did the different staff people know what was in other people's envelopes about what was occurring?
Not really, because we all talked about what we all, had experienced, but nobody knew exactly what was written down on each of the pieces of paper. We all did them separately and then in the envelopes and sealed.
And you sealed them and held on to them until the investigation was over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what did you think when we all came in here? There were 4 people on the team that came here to Roller World. And Hank Mosher and Marie Tucker and myself, Eddita Felt, and Michelle Barabee.
Yes. You guys came. I was a little nervous what was going to be happening, what was going to be set up in the building, but you guys came in and I explained everything beforehand, explained our choices, what we could do, what we didn't have to do, and made it very easy and simple to do the whole entire building.
So you were given some choices. Did you also have choices about what to do about the building itself to make the haunting stop?
Oh, yes, yes.
Or not to stop,
yes,
depending on your choice?
Yes, there were multiple choices of what we could do.
Mm-hmm. And what did you guys decide?
We decided today to do I could let you talk more about that.
It's a redirection circle. We're going to be doing a redirection circle here just a little bit later today. We're going to be redirecting the haunted, well, there were actually there are 6 ghosts here in the building, and 2 of them are young boys that died in a car accident that occurred, I want to say, fairly in the Mid-Coast area, fairly near to here. And those 2 boys need to go to the other side because they are separated from family and they're confused and lost, and so they need to go to the other side. The other ghosts that are here that are an issue well, we call the Juicy Fruit Lady. That's the lady who brings the smells. She circles around the place and comes. She used to work here, and she was very it was very important to her to make sure everything was running smoothly, and she didn't think anyone could make sure that happened except for her. So she kind of goes from place to place in the building. And she also, I think she also brings some of the cigarette smell that you guys were smelling here, but we also have here a real strong cigar smoker. And we're going to help him go to the other side. Those two people are where the most of the anxious energy and the heavy energy that you've been feeling down here by the main ticket booth and by the roller skate counter. There's also a young man who used to work here, who is haunting the premises as well, and we're going to help him to go to the other side. And the way this works, of course, is that we bring in their spirit guides and healing guides, and we work with our spirit guides and healing guides, and we will let them know that they have officially passed and that we would like them to move to the other side. And if they decide they don't want to go, we have several techniques that we use to assist them in the process. One of the things that we don't do as a team is we don't boss ghosts around. We don't tell them they have to do something, and we don't, it just doesn't work well. I mean, would you want to do something if somebody was really grouchy and bossy with you? No. So anyway, so we're going to redirect those folks today. And we're going to leave, you decided that we would leave the energies in this area, which is the sink area and the roller rink, where we have some very nice, playful child kind of energy, and but not haunted. And we do have a lot of spirits coming in here, and a lot of orb activity. When we did the photography, we got a lot of orb activity here. And so those will be areas that people will be able to experience when they come to the Walk and Talk, which is October 12th and 13th here. And we will ask those spirits that were giving you such a hard time before, if they've gone to the other side, we'll ask them if they want to come back and put in an appearance when we do this, the spirit walks. But it's really important for them to have the opportunity to go to the other side, because it's really hard for you to work in that office, and it's very disconcerting for you to hear doors slamming shut all the time when you're here by yourself.
Yes.
So we'll be doing that redirection circle in about an hour, and we can film it or not. That's up to you, whether you want to do that. But I heard you say that things are already shifted here?
Yes.
Since we came in and removed some of the residual energies. Did you want to talk about that?
Sure. What I was mentioning earlier was that I feel that the energy has shifted in here. It's not quite so heavy anymore. There does feel in some areas that there is still some more that needs to be cleared out, but I'm hoping that will all happen today.
Right. There was one other thing that we did as a team for you, and that was over here behind us on corner number 2.
Yes.
There was a sort of very heavy earth energy there. There was an imbalance in the earth energy there and in the grill area. And one of the things that Hank Mosher did, one of our team members, did was to move that really heavy energy out of the building. It was so severe that when you would come around corner number 2, you could feel the difference in the energy, and you would draw your breath in, and I think some people would lose their focus at that moment. As a matter of fact, I was at a party on Sunday, and a friend of mine, Jerry, whose last name will remain anonymous, because he didn't give me permission to tell this story, came here with his girlfriend. He said he was here 10 years ago. He was asking me what the corner was where we shifted the energy, and I told him, I drew a little map and showed him, and he told me the one time he was here, that's where he had the accident. He fell and crashed up the side of his face.
Wow.
So he was kind of, you know, a little bit weirded out by that. But that has changed now that we have shifted that energy. That will not be an issue anymore. Good. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
And the other thing that the team was able to provide for you is Hank who is an engineer by trade, and also a dowser, and a shamanic practitioner, Hank was able to make some suggestions for you about the physical plant itself. Do you want to say anything about that?
There was a few areas that he had given me suggestions on what to do in the building, that we could change the energy, or not even the energy, but the physical layout of the building that would help draw in business and help with that.
I know one of the things that we talked about before was that one of the team members picked up the really hot water coming through the system, and and Hank made a suggestion about what you could do to fix that, because it's only in the one location.
Correct.
that was an issue. And I think he also made some suggestions about the drains.
The water itself.
The water itself, yes. It's really helpful to have an engineer on the team who has some experience with plumbing and electrical matters and could make some suggestions, because one of the things we do as a team, we rule out that what's happening here might be from water that's not going through the pipes at an even pace, or from an electrical short, or from the overhead lights. I know a suggestion was made about changing the bulbs in some of the overhead lights, because they give off a flickering kind of energy that's very uncomfortable for people and can affect the health in a negative way.
Correct.
So it was
good. We did fix, yes.
It was helpful to have that as part of the inspection.
Absolutely, yes.
Great. Anything else you want to say about the inspection?
How easy it was, how much it actually was fun, all at the same time. So
Yeah.
It was great. It was a good experience.
How'd you like the infrared cameras?
Those were very interesting as well. I picked up a lot of interesting things on there.
And one of the things you and I talked about is that when we do the walk and talk here, October 12th and 13th, we are going to have the cameras be set up so that people can see the orb activity that's here in this area.
Yes.
I would like to say that this area here feels like the earth, the energy that makes up the earth is very thin through here, and I think that's why you have so much, you're hearing so many voices and songs and stuff from the past when people are going down this corridor here. It's fascinating, and this to me is my most favorite place here in the roller world.
Good.
So that's it at Roller World, and see you on October 12th and 13th. And it's so easy to have a psychic investigation done and move the folks to the other side so that you don't have doors slamming and smells that you don't know where they're coming from, like cigarette smoke and juicy fruit. No gum allowed here.
Right.
Thank you for being with us today.